Okay, here we are out in the garage of 540 Fabrication and Repair. This is my large bay area. I got about 12-foot ceilings. I got a loft that goes upstairs. I have old barn wood up there and whatnot. But I have my welding bench. This is where I do my cutting, metal bending, of course, hardware. I got my air compressor in the corner, routers, chop saw. And through here is my clean area, which is my another section. I have my lathe, but that doesn't really make much dirt. It's just shavings. So the problem I had is I use this bay quite often to pull something in, like a vehicle or something like that. Of course, this wouldn't be here. This is just stuff I gotta get rid of. But so I also on my weld bench never had a light over it. And my Miller-matic, my welder, is 220 and 110, as well as my Miller plasma cutter is 110 or 220. So I never used it for 220, but now I need to. So I'm going to be welding aluminum, and I'd rather use 220. So I needed to bring 220 to my bench, but I didn't want to run a cord across the floor or anything like that, or hook directly to my bench. Because like I say, if I have to move something in here, I need to move this bench out of the way. I need to do that. So I decided to run a conduit, from the ceiling on down, and put my 220 box on the end of it, so I could plug my welder and my plasma cutter into my 220. And I also decided I needed a light, which I mentioned before. But as usual, I didn't want just any light, so I decided to make my own light, something unique. So I decided to make this scissor light, which is pretty neat. Just something I fun around with. I had this old globe, this old lampshade, and I figured I got some pipe. I had some band metal, and figured, well, let me do a scissor lamp that can kind of adjust anywhere over the bench, so I can really get down and see my welds. So it's fully adjustable. So you got a large T-handle here that you would loosen or tighten. So if I want to loosen, and I just want to bring this thing out, you can see it goes full extension. And then I can lock it in. And you can see that thing extends, just the scissor arm alone is 50 inches. So plus I can loosen this wing nut here and slide this closer to my work or away from my work. Plus I have a wing nut here that I can loosen and adjust my lamp. All right, so as you can see, this thing's fully can swing in all directions. So you can just swing it around. It'll go wherever I want it. It'll come in close. It'll go out far. And what else is pretty neat about this, if I'm welding, I can actually use this, maybe clamp something to it, and clamp down the whole piece or something. I haven't really done that yet. Like I said, I just now finished it. So here's my light switch. So you can turn that on. I got a real nice spotlight here now. As you can see, it really brings it in nice over top of the bench. So it works out pretty well. Now the neat thing is, as I mentioned before, there's times where I need to move this table to bring something in, and I'm thinking, well, now I got this big piece of pipe sticking down out of the ceiling. Well, as you can see, I attach it to the bench. I momentarily have it disconnected so I can show. But I gotta undo this U-bolt, pull this away, and this whole pipe, I made a pivot. It actually is two pipes coming out from both sides of the reactor, bolted in. I got a loop up top. So I can literally take this, unbolt it from the bench, and swing this completely out of the way up into the rafters. So it's pretty neat. Worked out really well. So it kind of does quite a few things. Gives me 220 for my welder, my plasma cutter. It provides a light source over my bench. It can also hold some items for me if I needed the whole thing. This thing's pretty heavy duty. It's not going anywhere. As you can see, everything had to slide up on the pipe to put this together. So everything is removable. I can unthread my box from here. I can undo my switch by undoing that bolt. I can undo these little lockdowns here and here, and then this whole thing would just slide off the end of the pipe if I ever had to do that. Don't know why we need to do that, but and every place that this wire is really a thick insulation wire. It's like a real thick cord. And I also, every place it's going into a pipe or something, I have heat shrink, double insulated heat shrink. And I also put the wire into these little pipes, kind of little standoff pipes, to kind of hold it in place. I have two on one side and one on the other, so it just kind of maintains its shape and just kind of pulls in and out. So pretty neat thing. I was just wanting to show it off. Rather than just put a regular floor lamp up, why not make a conversation piece? So there it is. All right.